This is the latest Ford Focus and it's been given a design refresh with updated engines, tweaked styling and updated interior tech. But is it still the go-to family hatch if you want a car that's good value and fun to drive? The motoring landscape has changed an awful lot since the first Ford Focus was released 25 years ago, and yet the humble Ford Focus remains one of the most popular family cars around, competing with the likes of SUVs, crossovers, even electric cars and other regular family hatchbacks. The model we've got here is a 1-litre EcoBoost model with 155 horsepower in top spec ST-Line Vignale trim. That comes in a tiny bit under £30,000, but with a few option boxes ticked like this car has, you're looking at more like £33,000. Now that's a lot of money for a family car from Ford, but it is probably the most you can spend on a Focus unless you go for the ST hot hatch. Now if you go for a more humble non-Vignale model such as a titanium or an ST-Line, they still come with loads of equipment and they're around £25,000, which is a bit more like it when it comes to the money. You can also get a lower powered 1-litre with 125 horsepower plus a 1.5-litre 120 horsepower turbo diesel. The lower powered petrol is actually a touch less economical than the 155 horsepower one we've got today, with figures of 52 miles per gallon and 54 miles per gallon respectively. The diesel meanwhile can manage 67 miles per gallon according to official WLTP figures. It's a good square boot with a capacity of 375 litres, which is about the same as a Volkswagen Golf. There is a bit of an annoying load lip though, and you can't specify an adjustable boot floor, which is a bit irritating. The rear seats also only fold in 2 and not in 3, plus there's no lever in the boot, which means you have to come round here to do it. And when you do open the rear windows, watch out for the unexpectedly bulbous window line, which is surprisingly easy to catch yourself on. Once you're actually in here, it's very spacious. One criticism we do have is that the seat base is quite short, which gives the illusion of more legroom, but actually Ford didn't need to do that. There's plenty, and plenty of headroom too. There's also an impressively flat floor with only a small hump in the centre, which will be a major plus point for the middle seat passenger. Up front, there's loads of room and there's plenty of adjustment in the steering wheel. And the seats are a little bit flat and there's not as much adjustment. That's especially true for the passenger in mild hybrid cars because there is no height adjustment. The design of the interior itself is attractive enough, but it doesn't feel like it's been built with the most high quality materials, with dull looking scratchy plastics being the order of the day. In the past, Ford hasn't quite been on its game when it comes to infotainment systems, but it hopes to change all of that with this 13-inch touchscreen here. Well, it certainly looks good and it responds quickly to your inputs, and it is among the largest in any family car that you can get. It's not all good news though. If you've watched a few CarGurus videos, you'll know we have strong opinions on car makers replacing physical ventilation controls with touchscreen submenus. Unfortunately, that seems to be the consequence of the massive new infotainment screen in all but the base models of the latest Focus. Tut tut, Ford. At least the volume controls for the stereo are physical because you can just turn this here, which is particularly good with this Vignale model because it has a Bang & Olufsen system which has 10 speakers and a subwoofer and frankly sounds fantastic. Vignale spec also brings wireless phone charging, which is a neat touch, but all trim levels get built-in sat-nav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus front and rear parking sensors, a heated windscreen and cruise control. Upgrade from basic to titanium and you get a dual zone climate control and keyless start and entry. And if you go for an ST-Line car like this one, you get stiffer lower suspension for a sporty look and feel. Now, we said earlier that this is a top-of-the-range Vignale model, but actually the Vignale package is something you can add to multiple trim levels, and it brings plush leather seats and an electric driver's seat, as well as the better stereo we've already mentioned. Whether it's actually worth the considerable amount of extra cash, though, we're not so sure. Either way, it doesn't actually affect what the Focus is like to drive, and that is what we're going to do now. Although the mild hybrid technology gives you a power boost and better overall fuel consumption, It also has some downsides, just like then. So it harnesses energy under deceleration. So the braking effort you need to put in varies, which can be a little bit awkward. It also harnesses energy when you're coasting. So sometimes you just slow down unexpectedly. And what all of this does is contribute towards an overall jerky driving experience. What's more, accelerating after changing gear can sometimes result in a weird hesitation while the mild hybrid tech works out what it's doing. All of which is a bit of a shame, but it doesn't spoil the overall driving experience too much. The 1 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, although not that refined, actually has quite a bit of fizz, makes a nice sporty noise, and has enough power to make overtaking relatively easy. The Focus's star turn though comes when the road gets twisty. Focuses have always delivered the most enjoyable driving experience of any family hatchback, and the latest car continues in that tradition, with steering that gives you really good feedback from the road surface and generally inspires confidence, as does the relative lack of body lean. The sportier setup in this ST-Line car does make the ride a little jiggly. The softer suspension found in titanium models is where the sweet spot lies when it comes to ride quality. We've no complaints at all about the fuel economy of this mild hybrid engine though. We've achieved an easy 45 miles per gallon over a thoroughly varied mix of town and country driving, and on a motorway cruise we've no doubt you'll be able to get close to the car's official 54.3 miles per gallon. The Ford Focus is still a very good car. It's probably the best driving family hatch you can buy. The infotainment system is easier to use than Volkswagen's latest infotainment system, and that mild hybrid technology means it offers excellent fuel economy. On the downside, it's quite expensive to buy in higher spec trim levels. The mild hybrid drivetrain is uncharacteristically jerky, and the lack of physical ventilation controls is a backward step if you ask us. However, if you stick to one of the mid-range trims, then the Focus feels like better value. It's comfier to drive and still comes with plenty of kit. Even after 25 years, it remains one of the best family cars around. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're considering buying a Ford Focus or indeed any car, head to cargurus.co.uk to find loads of great deals for sale from top-rated dealers. And with our super clever pricing technology, we'll even tell you whether it's a good deal or not.